Do you believe you would ever go swimming in that part of the water if you knew that this creature would be waiting for you there? It is around the same length, but roughly twice as tall as a T-Rex. Its jaws are so big that they are capable of destroying vehicles, and it may simultaneously consume a large number of humans due to their size. While the earliest remnants of a megalodon have been found dating back to the Late Oligocene, which occurred around 28 million years ago. The megalodon was a prehistoric shark that was thought to have had a stout appearance, and its body may have been constructed in a manner comparable to that of the great white shark. It is possible that the jaws were more rounded and broader than those of the great white, and although the fins would have had a similar form, they would have been thicker because of the shark's larger size. It's possible that its eyes were rather tiny and positioned quite far apart, giving it the impression of having pig eyes. Due to the fact that Carcharodonts is descended from Odontus and the two possessed teeth that exhibit a close relation to those of the sand tiger shark, Carcharias taurus, it is possible that Megalodon had a construction that was more akin to the sand tiger shark than it was to the build of other sharks. This is highly improbable due to the fact that sand tiger sharks are caringiform swimmers, unlike great white sharks, who are thoniform swimmers. Caringiform swimmers require a more rapid movement of their tails in order to propel themselves through the water. One such theory is that Megalodon was comparable to either the whale shark or the baskin shark. There would have been a caudal keel present on either side of the tail fin. The anal fin and second dorsal fin would have been short, and the tail fin would have had the form of a crescent on the caudal peduncle. Other huge aquatic creatures, such as whales, tuna, and other sharks, often have a body structure similar to this one in order to lessen the amount of resistance they experience when swimming. Because most of the modifications that lessen the effect of drag are located in the rear of the animal, the head shape might differ from species to species. The bones of the megalodon are so fragmented that the only way to determine its size is by looking at its fossilized teeth and vertebrae. These estimations, however, vary greatly from one another. Because it is considered to be the most accurate equivalent to Megalodon, the great white shark has been used as the foundation for reconstructions and estimates of its size. The teeth and vertebrae of megalodons have been compared to those of great white sharks, which has led to the development of a number of different methods for estimating overall length. This extinct species of shark was called a megalodon, and if it had not become extinct, it would have had a startlingly enormous impact on the way people live their lives today. How may this factor influence the manner in which we make use of our oceans? How dangerous would it be for humankind? And how plausible is it that these species have been hiding out in the depths of our oceans the whole time? The following is a hypothetical account of what may have taken place in the world if megalodon sharks had never been extinct in the first place. Over the course of the previous few years, numerous reports of the megalodon being spotted have been made available on the internet. Many of them contend that these gigantic sharks did not go extinct in the first place and never should have. They have only been keeping a low profile by hiding in the very bottom layers of the water. By the way, we name it the Mariana Trench in the ocean. The stories that can be seen on the internet can't be independently checked because you can't dive down there, but the specialists claim that there is more than enough evidence to contradict those reports. There is no question in my mind that we would have been made aware of the existence of megalodon sharks by this point in time if they were still around. Navigating our seas would be fraught with a greater degree of peril. The following evidence proves that humans have not been kept in the dark about anything concerning megalodon sharks all of this time. To begin, even if megalodon sharks were able to navigate our oceans unimpeded, they would never venture into the Mariana Trench since it is the deepest point on the planet. Megalodons were creatures that inhabited warm seas around the world. They would not be able to tolerate the extreme cold of the Mariana Trench, which would make it impossible for them to reside there. In addition, if these massive sharks were still around, we would see the enormous bite marks that are typical of them on the carcasses of other great marine creatures. This would be the case if they still existed. We also would have unearthed at least one corpse or skeleton by this point in time, which is a virtual certainty. On the other hand, this has not been the case. The only vestiges of these archaic monsters that we found were their teeth, and we found quite a number of them. We found quite a few of their teeth. The fact that megalodons had such a huge mouth indicates that they must have lost a significant number of teeth, which makes the process of locating these teeth rather uncomplicated. In contrast to humans, who only manufacture teeth during the years of their lives when their jaws are still developing, sharks continue to produce fresh sets of teeth throughout their whole lifetimes. They normally lose a tooth once every week and a half on average. They would sink to the ocean floor due to the weight of their teeth, where they would very likely become petrified. This would happen very quickly. During the course of its lifetime, the typical megalodon will lose something in the neighborhood of 40,000 teeth. This indicates that there are a significant number of ruins for us to investigate. However, the fact that we have never found a whole megalodon indicates that there is still a significant amount about these dinosaurs that we do not comprehend. The following is a compilation of the data that we have been able to get up to this point. Megalodon sharks made their appearance around 16 million years ago, and they swiftly soared to become the most ferocious predators in the ocean. Today, megalodon sharks are extinct. These massive animals, whose lengths varied anywhere from 10 to 18 meters, consumed a vast variety of food, including fish, dolphins, and even whales. Their lengths ranged anywhere from 10 to 18 meters. After then, some 2 million years ago, they disappeared off the face of the Earth, and scholars are still unclear as to why this took place. There is a theory that indicates they became extinct as a result of declining food resources and escalating levels of competition for those dwindling food sources. This view is known as the food scarcity theory. A second, more fascinating explanation proposes that megalodons were simply unable to adapt to the gradually decreasing temperatures of the ocean, and that the megalodon's prey continually moved to colder waters in order to avoid being eaten by the megalodons. Citation needed said it is difficult not to guess about how different the condition of our oceans could be if these species had been able to survive, even while it is impossible not to hypothesize about the circumstances that led to their demise. It has been estimated that a megalodon went through around 1,100 kg of food on a daily basis. If they were still there and consuming that much, there wouldn't be nearly enough large fish for people to capture. And it wouldn't even be the only challenge for the fishing industry if they were still around. If they were still around, humans wouldn't be able to catch nearly as many large fish. There's also the chance that megalodons followed fishing vessels and stole the fish that they caught, much like some killer whales are known to do. This would be quite similar to the behavior of megalodons. Because of the rise in the average temperature of the water, megalodons will be able to thrive and breed, which will result in an even higher population of these giant marine monsters. This might create complications for companies that deal with marine goods, for cruise ships, and even for people who visit beaches for vacation.